there's so many. The Bret Harts. I was always, it was great to be in the ring with Bret, Shawn Michaels, The Rock, Stone Cold Steve Austin. I mean, even back in the day, it was great to be in the ring with Andre, George the Animal Steel. So many different characters, so many different people. Like, The Undertaker was unbelievable. You'd get goosebumps just every entrance from the Undertaker. Just him coming down the ring and getting to see the way the crowd reacts and his badass entrances and Stone Cold, the big pop, and even back in the day, like Big John Studd, and you work with guys with King Kong Bundy and all these other guys, and it was phenomenal, man. It was a phenomenal run, and I don't think, it's hard to say, but I hope some referees could say that 20 years down the road that they worked with some incredible talent from 20 years from now, and say that. But it's good. It's going to be hard because I've seen so many the Greg the Hammer Valentines, the Rick Rudes, and all those guys, Phineas and the Godwins, and all the
God, good old Godwins.
The Bushwhackers entertaining, Duke the Drozer, the Dumpster Drosy. It was just so many guys back then.
You did work in every era too. As people label it, the golden era, the new generation, the attitude, ruthless, PG. You've been involved with every era. Is there an era that you particularly enjoy? Because I know as a fan, at least for me, I grew up in the new generation era, but yet the attitude era spoke to a 13-year-old me. As in, you see skinny clad women, middle finger, saying "suck it." Like, is there an era that you said,
all over
"God
the place.
damn, this is so much fun"?
I'd have to say the Attitude Era, man. The Attitude Era in the 90s was great. In the 90s and the early 2000s and everything, coming up to 2010 pretty much. The 80s was phenomenal with Hulk Hogan. It was always a sad thing because when Hulk Hogan sold, man, on the outside of the ring, little kids would be crying through the barricades and the bicycle racks and just tears. And I'd be like, oh my God, it's not real. I feel like saying, hey kids, it's not real. Stop crying,
Oh, no.
And then you got the 80, 90-year-olds with the chicken heads going, you suck. You didn't see this. Yeah, like freaking out. And so, I mean, but the 90s was great. That's when, all the girls were flashing their tits at the Attitude Era.
Yeah.
Tits and ass were all over the place. Triple H and DX and all them guys would go out and say, hey, lift that shirt up. And the girls would go, oh, shit.
No kidding. Yeah.
And there's always a lot of girls at the end of the shows, man. There's always a lot of fans at the end of the nights at the hotels and bars and having fun. They were like glorified rock stars, the wrestlers, that's for sure.
100%. I love Duke to Dumpster Drosy, but when you walk through an airport as Stone Cold Steve Austin or DX or Kane or Mankind during that particular time, I always go back to the era of like, there's always going to be an object people buy at a gas station that is so popular the gas station wants to sell it too. As in, I would go into a gas station as a little child with my father. There's an Austin 316 shirt. Okay. And then as the years would go on, Beanie Babies, fidget spinners, random objects. But for so long, for like 5 years, it was WWF merchandise, even NWO shirts. And to me, that's when you are no longer just like wrestling. You are in mainstream. Everyone's talking about you, and you being involved with that has got to be something you could always hang your cap on.
It was amazing. It's not just around this country. Like, I've been to almost 60 different countries, and a lot of countries over and over. Australia, England, Ireland, here, there. I mean, and Italy, every little town in Germany and big cities in these countries. And I mean, wrestling was popular everywhere, man. It was just huge. And I mean, it was like certain places, like Bret Hart was so over in Germany. This one was so over here, and it was just, I mean, we're all over the place and selling out houses all over the world. That's something. If I would have played baseball or anything, you would have never even got to do that, like travel all over the world like that, because wrestling is the only place. Like, some people, like, you'll say, oh, you traveled all over, like, you'll talk about traveling and this and that, and they'll go, well, who'd you work for, the government, or did you work the military, or did you work for oh, no, military doesn't even travel that much.
Oh my God, that's so